Good afternoon. My name is Jennifer Garcia Edwardson, and I'm the proud superintendent of Taylor ISD. On behalf of the school board and our entire school community, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to Taylor ISD and Taylor High School. To our guests, our school district and our community are especially honored to host this stop on your Texas tour. There is no question that our partnerships are enriching our educational programs and opportunities for our students. From world-class Samsung internship experiences to the expansion of our program offerings for our students, it's an exciting time to be a Taylor ISD student. New growth brings new opportunities and new partnerships for our schools and our communities. And we are excited to be a part of the development and growth and to see firsthand what the future holds. Again, welcome to Taylor ISD. We are so happy that you're here. It is now my honor to introduce Taylor Mayor Dwayne Arreola.
Thank you so much. Forgive my pronunciation. Hanyung Neulamin Dwayne Arreola, Nanin Sejinidad, Taylor City. So, welcome. My name is Dwayne Arreola. I'm the mayor of Taylor City. I'd like to recognize my city manager and assistant city manager, Brian Laborde and Jeff Jenkins. I don't think anybody, and then all four councilmen, Councilman Anderson, Councilman Cobb, Mayor Pro Tem Samarick, and Councilman Garcia are here. So thank y'all for showing up. Thank you all for being here. On behalf of my fellow city council members, I am pleased to welcome our distinguished guests to the city today. I'd like to thank Superintendent Garcia Edwardson and Taylor ISD for hosting this event. I'd also like to thank Judge Gravel and the Williamson County Economic Development Partnership for organizing today's activities. I know that the delegation will enjoy their visit and especially their dinner tonight at Louis Miller's. As you know, the arrival of Samsung has had a significant impact on the city of Taylor and has brought many changes to our community. As we have developed our partnership with the company and the many companies that are coming to our city in the support of the semiconductor industry, it has been our privilege to welcome many new residents, business owners, and visitors from the Republic of Korea. We have appreciated the opportunity to learn about each other's cultures, customs, and traditions. I even taught the Consul General our nice welcome Texas hug. I lost him, but he's out there somewhere. And we have appreciated the opportunity to learn about each other's cultures, customs, and traditions, and we are pleasantly surprised by the many things that we have in common. Our relationship with our Korean partners is very important for our city and our community, and we are so blessed and honored that the ambassadors have included our city in their tour of Texas. We expect our partnership to continue for generations to come, and we are excited about the future, what the future holds for the city of Taylor, Williamson County, and the state of Texas, and both our nations. I am happy to turn it over to Judge Gravel for his comments. Thank you all.
Now, before I share my remarks, I want to say a specific word to two students that are in this room. You may be a high school student at Taylor, but I want to remind you, young ladies, that you are just as important as any man or woman that's walked into this room. And as students from Taylor High School, I want you to move around and get all of the pictures that you want. But ladies, I want you to never forget what your county judge is about to tell you. There is nobody more important than you. And the very reason why we're hosting this press conference here was the very reason we began the relationship with a large corporation from South Korea by the name of Samsung. The mayor at the time and the superintendent at the time and myself made a pitch to Samsung in Round Rock during the time of COVID, and we talked to them about what was important and about what we value. And I said the thing that we value the most is that next generation, the future of America. I remember distinctly asking the CEO at Samsung in our agreement if he would consider allowing us to have high school interns to work at their company. And he said, well, Judge, how many do you have in mind? And I said, well, about 6 kids a year. And he said, 6? That's all that you want, Judge? We're in Texas. We can do better and bigger than that. Ambassadors, just recently we graduated the 3rd class of interns through Samsung, and each year we're graduating 24 high school students from the area. So you students that are here, there's nobody in this room that's more important than you, because you represent not only the future of Taylor, Texas, you represent the future of America around the world. We're so delighted today to have the U.S. Ambassador to South Korea, Ambassador Goldberg, and the South Korean Ambassador to the United States, Ambassador Cho. We are so honored to have you here today. I remember the first time I met Ambassador Goldberg, we were visiting, and he shared with Mayor Rydell at the time. He said, "Mayor, I think that Taylor, Texas may be one of the top most well-known cities in all of South Korea." And he said, "I think perhaps you're second to New York and probably pretty close to Los Angeles, but you're a close third." And I remembered as we left the U.S. Embassy in South Korea, I was joking with the mayor about who would have ever thought that a boy from Taylor, Texas, the mayor, and a judge, a boy from Round Rock, Texas, would ever be in a foreign country celebrating and talking about what's important. You know, Williamson County values its relationship, not only our U.S. relationship, but our Korean relationship as well. I would be remiss if I did not say thank you to the President of the United States, because it was under President Biden's leadership that we have brought over $6.4 billion through the Federal CHIPS Act here locally, the largest investment from the federal government ever into economic development in the state of Texas. I also want to say a special thank you to Governor Greg Abbott for his commitment to help us land some of these companies and to all that make that possible. Williamson County's committed not only to our Korean relationships, but all international relationships. Williamson County has signed an agreement with COTRA, and COTRA has been amazing for us. Ambassadors, we have an office in Korea representing Williamson County in the COTRA workspace, and so they've been great partners. We also have a relationship with KETA, and I know that we have some executives here today, especially the president that runs the Dallas or Texas operations. Thank you for being with us today, because KETA is important to us. Not only do we have a great relationship with the U.S. Embassy, we also have made great commitments to invest worldwide in these efforts. In a few weeks, Ambassador Goldberg will be returning back to Korea for our 8th trip, our economic development trip, and it's my understanding that we already have some 60 meetings scheduled with prospective businesses, and it's exhausting when we go, but it's also rewarding when we come back. We also have a great relationship with the Department of Commerce, and I want to say again thank you to Secretary Raimondo. She has been such an amazing blessing, but when she visited here, she gave me her cell phone number and her email address and said, "Judge, if you ever need anything, give me a call." And guess what? We've given her a call. She's responded really well. Now, there are a lot of Korean-based businesses here in Williamson County. You may be surprised to know this, but there's actually a dozen corporations now that call Williamson County home. For some, it's their Texas headquarters, and for others, it's their U.S. headquarters. Velex, which is based in Round Rock, but has Georgetown operations as well. Just a few days ago, we were able to announce the partnership with SoulBrain with about a $600 million investment here locally with a capacity up to $1.1 billion. And there could be some names that I mispronounce, and ambassadors, you can correct that later. But Comico is located in Round Rock as well as Global Zeus, MMS International, Mars Automotive as well is located here. And one of my favorite companies to work with as of late is the Hanwha Corporation, which has 2 different offices here locally. One is in Georgetown that deals with the convergence program with technology that works between solar panels. And then Commissioner Bowles and I, County Commissioner Russ Bowles and I, went to the Hanwha Automotive site in Korea. In fact, he talked me into going on that trip. I said, "Commissioner, why are we going in the middle of nowhere?" And he said, "Because they're thinking about doing business in America." And I said, "Russ, it's a long drive to get out there and come back." He said, "Look, we're just 2 boys from Round Rock, but we can make a difference." And we went out and we met that company, and not only have they broken ground on a $100 million complex here, but they're close to completion in the automotive manufacturing industry as well up in Georgetown, Texas. Our last trip, we met a wonderful group called Hanyang Engineering, and they now have their U.S. headquarters in Cedar Park, Texas, and we're excited about that. And then Soyun Automotive Suppliers, and I know that I mispronounced that, so please forgive me. And then iMarket as well. In fact, on our next trip to Korea, iMarket is set up for the mayor and other city leaders to meet with some 30 or 40 suppliers in South Korea. So we have multiple relationships, and we're so excited about that. Ambassadors, I'm also excited to let you know that when we return to Seoul in a few days, I'll be traveling to Yongin City, and Williamson County has signed a sister city agreement with Yongin City, and in visiting with the mayor there will be a day that we will be sending students from Taylor High School on an international exchange program to Yongin City in South Korea, and then my Taylor friends, we will be welcoming young adults from South Korea that will be coming to America. With our visit at Yongin City and that sister city agreement, there will be an exchange of students in the days ahead to extend and exchange cultures. Now, ambassadors, I have a gift for you. Commissioner Bowles is really good at making signs, and Andy has one. Ambassador Goldberg, I have this for you, and we really thought you would appreciate that. Yongin City Boulevard. We have a Yongin City Boulevard, or we will within the next 30 days here in Williamson County, Texas. And Ambassador, I'm going to give that to you. We would have put it in Korean, but we don't.
Commissioner Bowles doesn't know Korean.
Commissioner Bowles doesn't know Korean, so we're going to give that to you. Thank you. And by the way, Yongin City is a large city in Korea, and it is the site of the largest semiconductor cluster in the world. Yeah, it's really massive, so thank you so much for that. Now, let's hear from our ambassadors. Ambassador Cho, would you like to come first and share some remarks, and then following that, Ambassador Goldberg will come as well,
Just
too.
brief remarks at the introduction. Thank you very much. Well, thank you for welcoming me and my delegation, and also my friend, Ambassador Goldberg. It is, well, I'm so excited and delighted to be here for the first time here in Williamson County as a Korean ambassador. Well, as Judge already mentioned, the relations between Korea and the United States, the alliance between our two countries has never been stronger. Under the leadership of two leaders, President Biden and President Yoon. And when it comes to the relations between Korea and this great state of Texas, our economic and trade and investment relations has never been brighter. The future has never been brighter. Texas has become one of the major trading partners of Korea. And also Texas has become the top destination of Korea's investment in the United States. As you mentioned, not just Samsung, but also other partner companies are located in this area. So I'm here just to show the unwavering support of the Korean government and Embassy of Korea for the mega project that Samsung is doing here in Williamson County. And today I had a meeting with the governor, and also as well as a meeting with executives of Samsung, and we reaffirmed our commitment and full support for the mega project here in Williamson County. So just take me, the Korean ambassador in Washington, just take me as Williamson County's representative based in Washington, D.C. All right? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. Ambassador Goldberg, I need to provide you this information. I was informed today, you know, after you met with Governor Abbott, I'm sure he told you that we're the 7th largest economy in the world. Did he share that with you today? larger than many nations. Well, I discovered today through some really good research that Williamson County, if it were a nation, is the 98th largest economy in the entire world. In fact, Ambassador Goldberg, this last year in Williamson County alone, the total appraised property value in 1 year in the entire county increased $9.4 billion. And Ambassador, much of it has to do with our friendship in Korea, and I personally want to say thank you. You've been a diplomat who has faithfully served America for many years, and you, sir, are a picture of America around the world. And we, as Americans, are so grateful for your representation, and the fact that you two would come to Taylor, Texas, and you kept your word to an old judge, it means so much. Let's welcome the United States Ambassador to Korea.
Thank you, Judge. I had the great pleasure of having Judge Gravel and former Mayor Rydell in my office in Seoul, and I said to my staff afterwards, boy, the enthusiasm and energy that the judge brings to this project is incredible. And so this afternoon when we met with Governor Abbott, I mentioned that we were coming by here, and he said, that judge is bringing a lot of energy and enthusiasm to his job. I said, well, we're like-minded, and it's really, really impressive what's gone on here. As Ambassador Cho said, our relationship, the relationship between the Republic of Korea and the United States is something that we treasure. It was forged in blood during the Korean War and now has expanded into whole new areas. And one of them, and one of the most important, is in the business relationships, the economic relationship between the two countries. And that's epitomized here in Williamson County and the city of Taylor, Texas. And we're so happy that that's the case. It is a relationship that now is much broader than just the security relationship. It goes into science and technology and all new areas. And that Samsung plant across the way is one of the prime examples of what we're doing together as two democratic countries that believe in freedom, rule of law, and bringing together the great talent in both countries. And so semiconductors they call the oil of the 21st century. And with the advent of AI, the importance of chips in almost everything we do, including the cars that we drive, the refrigerators that we open, the televisions that we turn on every day. This fab will produce some of the most advanced in the world. And so we're very proud that this is such an important part of the relationship between our two countries. And it's right here in Taylor, Texas. So thank you again, Judge. I look forward to seeing you soon in Seoul again. And we're just so happy to be here. Thank you.
We have time for just a couple of questions. If you have any questions for any of our speakers today. Justin? Go ahead.
Kind of a two-part question for the ambassadors, but when you talk to companies abroad, local officials, public officials abroad, what are the advantages that Austin and Williamson County provide, and what are some of the concerns that they ask you to work through?
So I think that clearly when companies look to Texas writ large has an enormous amount of Korean investment. But you do compete with others. So it's through the salesmanship and the offer of a secure environment, number one, and the ability to help the companies settle and thrive. And so it's a great competition. And so the companies do look for whatever the local governments, the state government, the national government. The judge mentioned the CHIPS Act. This was a hugely important piece of legislation that offers incentives for a company like Samsung, especially so they look for that when they invest. And the fact that Williamson County and Taylor, Texas were selected for this investment speaks very well for what was put on the table.
And just the second part, the concerns, like that they feel the governments need to work for.
And if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
They've got a microphone.
Actually. So in talking to the representatives of the companies, no, I haven't heard anything. What I said before is that what the companies are looking for is a security for their investment, clearly, and what each locality has to offer and what the state government brings to the table. The judge mentioned the CHIPS Act, which also at the national level incentivizes companies to come to the U.S. There is a state CHIPS Act as well here in Texas, trying to get some of the smaller companies that feed into the industries, give them an advantage as well. So it's infrastructure, the ability to support these kinds of facilities, and it's the whole package. And I think the salesmanship and the ability to attract these investments speaks very well of this community. Yeah, that's hugely important. One of the challenges when you have a high-tech industry come into the state, and it's not just a responsibility clearly of this local community, but the University of Texas and other parts of Texas, Texas A&M, where there are engineering programs, where there's the ability to produce workers for these high-tech industries, is hugely important, because that's what the companies need and are looking for. And so for the young people here in high school, it gives them they're looking across the street, it gives them the idea that maybe this is a place to work, or and these are avenues to study. And so, yeah, I think the internships also certainly give the young people a grounding in what this is all about. And again, these industries that we're talking about, semiconductors, in some other areas, the advent of AI, cybersecurity, these are the kinds of industries we need young people to concentrate in. And insofar as this facility is so close and has the ability to share that with young people in this community, I think gives all kinds of opportunities for the future.
We have time for probably just one more question. Anybody have a question?
So I want to follow up in part to the question that you asked the ambassador, because I have not shared this with him, but since our visit in Seoul, the University of Texas has announced an expansion right here in Taylor. And in fact, it's just right beside this piece of property, and if my memory is, it's 48 acres or 68 acres. And so the expansion and the opportunity to work collaboratively with we're bringing the University of Texas to Taylor, right? And as you see the building that's being built across the ways, pretty amazing. I want to speak specifically to your question. What these companies mean, and by the way, Williamson County has been proactive in reaching out to Korean companies. They are our partner and our ally around the world. I've never been treated with greater respect than the times that I've been in Korea. Their love and deference for Americans is humbling. And the work ethic of those that I've met from there is just truly amazing. What it means to our community is that the two young ladies that are here today taking pictures, the county judge just said to them downstairs, hey, have you thought about applying for an internship this summer at Samsung? And where are you going to school? And what are you going to do? And how can we bring you back to this community? I met a couple of students that graduated the internship program this summer. One was a particular stunning young lady that stood out to me, going to Duke University on a full scholarship from Taylor, Texas. But guess what? She's already been offered a job, and she hasn't even went to do her college. She's been offered a job that if she'll come back here and work here and plant here and grow here, she'll have an opportunity at facilities like this and other companies that we've named. What it means is that when you're a boy that grows up in Taylor, Texas, or a boy that grows up in Round Rock, Texas, and you didn't think that something was possible, it's possible in your own backyard, and we can't forget that. Come on. Come on, Ambassador.
Well, you know, last year we celebrated the 70th anniversary of the Korea-U.S. alliance. So, but at the same time, we were talking about envisioning another 70 years of alliance between the two countries. Look, I had a similar conversation with the executives of the Samsung today. You know, remember when Samsung began building their facilities in Austin was 1996. So if you were a high school student and now you are maybe in the 40s or 50s. So this investment and this business in Taylor City by Samsung's investment is business for the decade and business for the generations to come. So alongside advancement of Korea-U.S. alliance, we will be together with this mega project. So don't worry about future. And this is the future of your younger generation here in Williamson County. Thank you.
I'm going to just interrupt real quick. I had hoped to do this at Louis Miller's, but at 1900, at 7 p.m., I have to host the 9/11 Memorial Parade. So I'd like to do a presentation from the City of Taylor to the two ambassadors. Off script, we're just so excited. All the council members, all the ISD board members are so excited to have Samsung, to have the Korean nation welcome them to Taylor, Texas, and we're ecstatic to just grow this relationship in the future. So thank you so much for taking time out of your calendars. And I know my calendar's crazy. I can't imagine y'all's. So Ambassador, if I could present you first. Small token.
Thanks, Greg.
Yeah, we're just a little bit behind schedule, so I'll probably not be able to get this in. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Absolutely.
We have to work today. Today, with this tragic day, that's why I will not forget today.
Yes, sir.
I'm here.
I will never forget. I was in D.C. on an island, so I'll never forget. Okay, Connie?
Mayor, can you hang on just a second?
Absolutely.
Could we take a picture with everyone that's up front? Would that be possible? Where's the consul general? My friend, Thomas.
Yeah.
He's working for us right now.
Playing Scrabble. What do you want me to do? Spit the master.
Oh.
Right there, sir? Yes, sir. My good friend here.
Where are we at, Tommy? Oh, there's cameras in here.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, you're ready to guide me a little bit pressure? I prefer soju, though. Thank you so much.